What's going on? They need to be quiet.
Somebody.
That's too nice, bro. You gotta go harder.
All right, so listen up. After you clean your stand, you want to make sure that you have a headrest and it is cleaned as well. Okay, I ain't gonna put it on yet. All right, we got another headrest down there?
It might be.
There's only one on this side.
All right, so we're gonna hold on the headrest because that's not working.
When you saying click, what we gotta do? Spray some sanitizer on it, wipe it down?
Yeah, spray some sanitizer on it. Spray some of this on it. And if you're taking the test at the Greensboro location, which you probably will, you spray the sanitizer on it and wipe it down. It'll be good. Okay. Yes.
We get pointed. We don't move.
Yes, it's gonna go get your sanitation grade if you do not do it. Is this one the same? This one the same. Don't even worry about it. I don't know if it's gonna stay, y'all. We're gonna try it. Alright, so this is our headrest, and it needs to be cleaned as well. Alright, so I got supplies over here. Excuse me. I got supplies over here, and I probably shouldn't have left them over here. I'm gonna just put them over here. Alright, so I have a couple of things. I have a blood spill kit. I have 5 towels. And I'm going to take one of these towels and place it just like so. And now this is after I've cleaned my stand. I still need a barrier between the things that I'm using as well as my stand. I have a blood spill kit. I'm going to place it right here. I have a headrest cover, and this is going to go over my headrest. I have a chair cloth. I have 4 towels, and I have 6 paper towels. Give me 6. All right, thank you. 6 paper towels. And keep in mind, people, you can't just throw your stuff on that stand like that. Okay, that ain't gonna work out for you. It's a good idea to make sure that your napkins are folded neatly. Make sure that your towels are folded neatly. Your chair cloth should be folded neatly over the chair. And for state board, we're basically going to mimic this procedure, but it won't be exactly the same. What I'm showing you right now is what you need to know for shaving. Okay? I also have this trash bag. And this trash bag is basically going to be hung on my stand so that I can put my soiled linens. Soiled linens meaning my towel. Okay? Headrest. Headrest cover goes just like so. And then this is my chair cloth that I'm going to use for my client. Okay? A couple of things I need you to know. Chair cloth. The way we're going to fold it is just like so. We're going to open it up from the bottom that has the straight end. Together once. Together twice. Halfway. And then once again. All right. Towels are going to be folded just like so. So all the way open. I'm gonna fold it long ways. Just like so. And if you have to roll it up to sting your client, okay? Alright. So, the first thing I'm gonna do, go ahead and sit back. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to pump my chair up, recline my chair, and make sure that it is at a comfortable height. Make sure that if I'm right-handed, my client's feet are facing right. If I'm left-handed, my client's feet are facing left. Who took the shaving cream?
I'll go get some.
It was right here. Who took
Right
it?
here.
It was a lot of it.
Look and see if it's inside that cabinet. Alright. Alright, so that's one more thing in my arsenal. Razor, towels, headrest cover, chair cloth, shaving cream, blood spill kit, 6 napkins. Okay? Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do, my first napkin. Let me back up. Make sure that there's enough room for you to comfortably walk between your client's head and the stand or the sink that you're going to be using. Okay? The next thing I'm going to do, I ain't going to use that towel because it looks like it's dirty. Give me another one. Come up with it. Give me another one. Put this in the hand. Put this in the hand. Alright, so my first towel is going to go just like so because I'm right-handed. My right hand is going to go up when I step to my client and place the corner of this towel beneath my client's earlobe. Okay, the other part of this towel is going to come up and it's going to go beneath my client's earlobe on the other side. This towel is called a chest towel. It's not secure unless I tuck it into my client's collar. Ooh, hold on. Hold on, this is what happens when you don't practice.
Hold on, let me cut that
This is
out.
what happens when you don't practice. Alright. It's fine. It's totally fine.
I wasn't gonna say that.
Somebody tell me more guys sit down.
Chest
More you
out,
guys
so
sit
I thought
down.
you gonna put the chest
I
out.
need to sit down on him. I'm eliminated.
That's right.
Alright. I ain't did this since before COVID, so I'm sorry. So,
So do we use the haircutting cape or the shampoo cape?
we're gonna use a haircutting cake, but the reason I got this shampoo case because it's what was in my office. Yes.
You don't wash your hands before?
Nope.
Okay. That was good.
Alright. So, on video? Am I cutting?
We gonna cut that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Don't do that, no. You got too many stripes already.
Y'all cut that out.
Alright, so we're gonna dress our client with the chair cloth. And this is a shampoo cake, but I'm using this shampoo cake because I don't have a chair cloth in the office. Alright, so make sure that when you're placing this chair cloth, this does not touch our client's neck because of sanitary measures, correct?
Yes.
Alright, so now, my first towel. Because I'm right-handed, it's going to be my right hand up when I step to my client and place the corner of this towel beneath my client's earlobe, tuck it in. The other corner beneath my client's earlobe on the right side, I'm going to tuck it in. This is considered my chest towel. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of my napkins and I'm going to place it in the fold of my chest towel. This is my lather pad, soap pad, or lather paper. Together, lather paper and chest towel, this is my linen setup. Okay? You will hear, see, need to know these names. Hear and see them again. The next thing I'm going to do is wash my hands. You should have antibacterial soap on your stand in the barber shop where you're taking the exam, as well as Winston-Salem Barber School. Antibacterial soap should be in the soap dispensers. My next towel is my personal towel. And I'm going to use this personal towel to dry my hands. Anytime I have to dry my hands, this is my personal towel. So because it's already used, it's going to be on the other side of the towels that are still clean. Okay? So we're going to put this on the opposite side. And because I know that this towel is sitting here by itself, I know that this is my personal towel. Alright. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lather my client. And notice that I washed my hands before I got ready to apply this shaving cream to my client's face. Are you going? This gonna irritate you at all? Okay. All right. So I'm basically I have my shaving cream in my hand. It's a gel to foam, and I'm gonna wet it just a little bit. The reason I want to wet it is because I want to be able to allow it to glide smoothly over my client's face. Okay. So with my lather in my most dominant hand, I'm going to use my less dominant hand, which stays dry, correct?
Correct.
And I'm going to turn my client towards me. I'm going to start at the sideburn, and in a circular motion, I'm going to lather my, what are you laughing at? I'm going to lather my client. And if you don't have enough lather, people, please by all means get more lather. The first time lather is to cleanse the face. What else is the first time lather for?
No, that's steaming.
The first time lather is only to cleanse the face. I tricked y'all. Now lathering has a certain purpose, but when it's specified that it's the first lather, and you're asked what is the first time lather for, it's only to cleanse the face. Well, to cleanse the face and the hair. Okay? So everybody got that?
Yeah.
Now, who can tell me why we lather our clients?
To smoothen the
What is to cleanse the face?
Smooth surface.
Apply smooth surface for the lather to glide. To help the hair to stand up. What part of lathering helps the hair stand up?
When you circle
Circular motion. Circular motion is what helps the hair to stand up. What else does our lathering do? Keeps from getting the skin irritated. Same thing as applying, allowing a smooth surface for our razor to glide. What else? We talked about this yesterday.
soften the hair.
It does soften the hair. It does soften the hair. Activate sebaceous glands. What about relax the client?
Yes. Relax the client.
Okay. Huh? You said for sure. That's why you over here. Okay. So we've lathered our client. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take our next towel. We're gonna steam our client. We already have the towels folded in the barber fold, so we're just gonna fold it twice more to make sure that we have our towel in a hot dog form. We're gonna turn the hot water on, or if you're doing this and you're not in class, what you can do is actually get a steam towel from the steam cabinet. But y'all don't have one over here because y'all don't use it over here. Or not y'all, but they. Yes.
We're gonna be using the mannequin.
Nope, you're gonna be using each other. That's why you have a partner. Okay. Now, if anybody doesn't want to use a person and you want to use a mannequin, then you know. Speak now. Forever hold your peace. Well, at least before the end of the day, I need to know.
You can work the very nice.
You can. You can. It's up to you. I usually don't like to wear gloves. It's just not comfortable for me. I just feel like, it'll be a lot easier.
Do you have to change the gloves though as much as you wash them?
Yes. Alright, so we're gonna wait for the water to get to a good temperature. You don't want it to be too hot. Think about the precautions that we talked about. Hot towels shouldn't be used on what? What type of skin? Chapped, blistered, scarred, inflamed. What about thin skin?
I said.
Thin skin. We definitely don't want to use hot towels on thin skin. What could be the alternative for an individual that had thin skin? What could be it would be older people that have thin skin, but what type of alternative could we use as opposed to hot towels? Warmer towels. They don't have to be as hot. What does the heat from the steam towel do? It helps to soften the cuticle. Okay? Soften the cuticle of the hair. Everybody knows what that cuticle is, right? The cuticle is the outer covering of the hair strand. And basically, after we saturate this towel with hot water, we want to keep it closed. We definitely don't want to open it because when you open it, you start to release the heat. Nothing ever goes over our client's head. We want to make sure that we go around. Make sure that we go around our client before we open the towel. Once we open the towel, we want to test it on both wrists. Place the fold of the towel beneath our client's nose, and the two corners closest to you overlap the forehead. Right, just like in a massage. Okay? Now, while my client is steaming, what I'm going to do is clean and sanitize my razor. Remember I told y'all that this is going to be a strategy. Okay? Everything is supposed to go in order. While my client is steaming, instead of sitting here twiddling my thumbs, I'm going to use my time wisely and go ahead and clean and sanitize my razor. Now, we definitely need to make sure that we're treating this razor as if there is a blade in it at all times. So, once we rinse the razor, we're going to apply soap, and we're going to wash this razor with soap and water. Notice that I'm not going back and forth on the area where the blade is supposed to be. I'm being careful to treat this razor as if there is a blade in it. And I want to clean the whole handle and everything. Alright, I'm going to rinse it.
Mark,
See you later, man. Appreciate it.
just call me.
All right, I got you.
See you, Mr. Wong.
Bye. Hey, Mr. Louse, hand me that barbicide jar down there. Ain't nothing in place over there. Alright, so we just washed and rinsed our razor with soap and water. Now we're going to place the razor in the barbicide jar, fully submerged in the barbicide jar. Okay? It don't need long, just a couple of seconds. This is a brand new razor, clean razor. Then we're going to rinse it. Why wouldn't we just dry it and go ahead and place it there to be used? Yeah, barbicide doesn't need to, whether we cut them or not, barbicide doesn't need to be on our client's skin. Okay? So, I'm going to take my napkin, I'm going to take my next napkin, I'm going to dry this razor off. I can discard of it, or I can use the same razor for my razor, use the same paper towel for my razor. But, after which, I'm going to place my razor in the paper towel cover and place it on my stand until I'm ready for it. Alright? So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to release my steam towel from my client. Best thing to do is open it up and take it off of our client's lip. Use the corners to clean your client's face. Notice that my arms are extended so I'm not working over my client's face. And this first time lather is to do what? Cleanse the face. So if we're leaving any lather on this client, it's considered soiled or dirty. So we want to make sure that we get all of the lather off of our client. Notice that I'm folding this towel neatly and not balling it up. And that ensures that I can use all parts of this towel. Now, some of you going to put so much lather on your client, it's just going to be like a foam. If that's the case, you can extend your arms, fold it inside out, and you have a whole nother side of this towel to use. Once I'm done with this towel, I'm going to fold it back into the hot dog form, and I'm going to release it from my client. Nothing ever goes over the face. Release it, place it in the other hand. Because I'm still working on the same client, I can still use this thin towel again. So I'm just going to place it on the sink. Alright? The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lather my client again. So this is our second lather so far. If you didn't wet it the first time, definitely make sure you wet it the second time. Make sure that you use your dry hand to maneuver your client's head. I can do it right here. I know what you really wanted to say, Miss Wendy. He white, but I can just yeah. It did it smooth though. Now what you need to know about these areas 3 and 6 is that if that client has an established mustache, during the shave, if the shave should come back to model, you don't have to execute strokes 3 and 6. However, sometimes when your client doesn't have a full beard, which they're supposed to have, they'll tell you to go ahead and do strokes. Make sure that you do strokes 3 and 6 to make sure that you're getting enough shaving time, okay, or to make up for any patches that that client might have, okay. Other than that, you don't have to do strokes number 3 and 6, okay. So I've lathered my client. My hands are dry. Hold on. You got to turn that down. We can hear that. Yeah, we can hear that. We can hear you. We can hear y'all conversation. Folks. We in shaded class. Turn it down. We can hear y'all. We're doing a demonstration and we can hear everything that's going on over here, so you need to turn it down. Alright, should you have to ever step away from your client, or should you have to pull your hair back, or pull your pants up, or pull your mask up, or itch your nose, or dig in your ear, you need to stop and wash your hands. Okay, so I'm going to exercise that. I'm going to go ahead and wash my hands before I start working on my client. Personal towel is still in effect. So, my razor should be in the napkin folded. I'm going to open my razor up, and I'm ready for my first stroke, which is a freehand stroke. Let's step to my client, make sure that my hand is still dry, because I'm still going to be using my hand to maneuver my client's head. and I'm gonna pick his head up and turn him to the left. First stroke, stroke number 1. I'm gonna use my thumb to stretch in the area of the sideburn. And those of you that are recording over here, y'all might wanna come over this way so you can see this first side. I'm gonna turn my client away from me whenever I start to shave, okay? Client is turned towards me whenever I lather, turn away from me whenever I get ready to shave. I'm gonna use my thumb to stretch in the area of the sideburn, and I'm going to, beside the chair, beside the armrest of the chair, is where I stand for freehand. I'm going to execute a freehand stroke starting at the sideburn, going down to the jawbone.
It's gonna be like that quick.
No, it ain't no reason here.
I'm about to say that is
I'm scared I'm taking this little hair off.
You don't really want to
What you mean?
little hair. She's trying to quick.
No, they're in there.
Because she's a professional.
They're in a small classroom where he wanted them to be.
Edit that out.
Don't edit that. Wrong.
Leave.
Leave it.
All right, stroke number 1. Stroke number 1 has to continue just a little bit further because we basically want to cover this area. Think about the little sheets that you have, that you colored, okay? Those sheets are going to be what we use to separate the areas of stroke. All right, so I'm going to, not only am I going to move my razor, but I'm going to move my finger, okay? So that is my stroke number 1. That's the full area for stroke number 1. And notice that I'm wiping my razor carefully so that I do not cut through and cut my finger. Stroke number 2 is a backhand stroke. So for my backhand stroke, I'm going to stand in the area between the head and the shoulder. I'm going to use my 4 fingers with my client's head turned to the left. I'm going to use my 4 fingers to stretch in the area of stroke number 1, and I'm going to go off the chin using a backhand stroke. Stroke number 3 is a freehand stroke. And note that anytime I'm at freehand, anytime I'm freehanded, I'm going to be standing beside my client. I'm going to pick my client's head up and turn him so that his nose is perpendicular to the ceiling. And I'm going to use my thumb to stretch away. Tip of the razor going from the middle of my client's mustache to the corner of his mustache. And that is stroke number 3. Yes.
On the test, will you be like telling us individually?
I ain't telling y'all nothing.
Oh, so we just do it?
By that time, I'm going to say start. And I'm going to say your time is up.
All right.
Okay. All right. Stroke number 4 is a freehand stroke. So I'm going to pick my client's head up and turn him away from me. I'm going to use my thumb as well as some of my hand to stretch in the areas of stroke number 1 and 2. To perform a freehand stroke, which starts at the jawbone and goes down to the fold of the neck or where the hair begins to change positions. Boom, boom, boom. Stroke number 5 is a reverse freehand stroke. Remember, I told you everything below the fold of the neck is a reverse freehand stroke. So reverse freehand, we're going to stand behind our client, okay? Because he's turned to the left, that's how I want him to be, because I want this area to be exposed. I'm going to stretch in the area around my client's head. I'm going to stretch in the area of the collarbone, starting closest to the ear, coming in to perform stroke number 5. And notice how I'm placing my lather on this napkin. I'm trying to keep it kind of sequential so that I don't have lather all over my hands. Okay? Yes.
Now I see that when you're dry hand, you get lather on it. You use your
I'm
towel.
using this.
Are we allowed to do that?
Yes, you can if you get lather on it. I don't want you to use your personal towel because
Right.
I don't want you to get lather on your personal towel. Okay? All right. So, stroke number 6 is a backhand stroke. And what I want you all to do is to learn how to change position of this razor by your side. The reason being is because I don't want you changing position of this razor over this client, because if you drop it on the client, you may just cut your client. And how you gonna do blood spill procedure on his chest? Okay, so make sure that you change your position of the razor by your side. Get used to it. Okay, get used to putting your razor in the freehand, backhand positions. All right, so stroke number 6 is the backhand stroke. Because my client's nose is already perpendicular to the ceiling, I'm good. I'm still going to stand in the area between his head and his shoulder, and I'm going to use my index finger to stretch the tip of his nose towards me to execute this backhand stroke, which starts the middle of the mustache down to the corner of the lip. Yes.
So if we say he don't want the mustache cut, but he want like a line, we do freehand.
If he wants a line, now if you testing, you don't need to worry about that. But if he wants a line, that's something you need to do before you do the shave. Okay, go ahead and line this mustache and everything up before you do the shave. Alright, so that's stroke number 6. Stroke number 7 is also a backhand stroke. I need to stand in this area, but I need to stand closer to my client's head because this area is on the other side of his face. So I'm going to pick my client's head up and turn him to the right. Use my 4 fingers to stretch in the area of the sideburn to go from the top of the sideburn to the jawbone. And I'm going to do another stroke just so that I can cover that full area. All right. Stroke number 8 is what type of stroke?
Freehand.
It's what?
8.
Stroke number 8.
Freehand.
We just finished 7.
Free.
Is it freehand?
It's freehand.
Look at your face.
It's
Freehand.
Say freehand.
Yeah.
It say freehand?
Yeah.
Oh, stroke number 8 is coming this way. Okay.
Uh-huh.
I told y'all I did.
Uh-huh.
That's all you did.
Yeah. I told y'all I did this in 2 years.
You good. You got it
Okay.
right.
I was thinking about here. It's over here.
Yeah.
All right. So for stroke number 8. Yeah, I ain't did this.
Oh, on a real person.
Yeah.
Oh, I was about to say, you showed us.
Okay. On a minute. Yeah. Stroke number 8, I'm going to use my thumb to stretch in the area of stroke number 7. And I'm going to come off the chin. Alright, stroke number 9 is backhand stroke. So I'm going to stand in the area between the shoulder and his head. Use my 4 fingers to stretch in the areas of stroke number 7 and 8. And I'm going to go from the jawbone to the fold of the neck. Stroke number 10 is a reverse freehand stroke. So I'm going to make sure that my body is positioned at the top of my client's head, belly button in the middle, if you want to be exact. I'm going to stretch in the area of the collarbone and perform stroke number 10, which is a reverse freehand stroke. Stroke number 11 has a certain significance in that it is performed in 3 swipes before you wipe your razor. So I'm going to use my thumb and my middle finger to stretch on both sides of my client's chin. And I'm going to start with the point, go to the middle, and then the heel of the razor before I wipe. Did everybody get that?
Yeah. Try it. Can you do it again?
Point, middle of the razor. See how I got shaving cream in the middle?
Yeah.
And the point, and then the heel of the razor. Now I have the full razor cover. Did y'all see that?
Yeah.
All right. Stroke number 12 has a certain significance in that it can be what, Mr. London done how many times? How many ways?
No, 2.
2 different ways. You know those ways?
Freehand. Right. Reverse. Freehand.
You had it right.
Yeah.
Freehand and backhand. All right, so because I'm already in the freehand area, that's really how I want y'all to do it. Okay, so this whole area right here is freehand. So basically what I'm gonna do, scoot over just a little bit so you can see this. I'm going to stand here. I'm going to use my thumb to stretch in the area of stroke number 11. And my freehand stroke starts at the bottom of the chin and goes down to the fold of the neck. Now, if I were to do it backhand, first of all, I need to be able to see that area, okay? I don't need to have this certain anatomy that might be laying on his forehead, okay? I need to have him in a comfortable place where I don't have to lean over him and exchange breath with him, okay? So that's why I really want y'all to do it in the freehand position. But if I'm going to do it in the backhand position, I'm going to take my 4 fingers in the area of stroke number 11 and perform a backhand stroke going from the chin to the fold of the neck, or where the hair begins to change position. Anytime you get ready to wipe that razor, you have to come back to the freehand position. I have some some students that want to stand right here and do this and then wipe their razor just like so. You feeding them your armpits. You feeding them all your anatomy. You exchanging breath with this client. That might be a reason for a client to find fault with the shave. Okay? Stroke number 13 also has a certain significance in that you have to pull that skin off of the Adam's apple before you perform it. So with stroke number 13, because it's a reverse backhand stroke, a reverse freehand stroke, I'm going to lift my client's head so that his nose is perpendicular to the ceiling, and I'm going to stretch to each side. When I stretch to the left side, I'm going to pull the skin to the left and perform a reverse freehand stroke on the left side. Wipe my razor. When I perform this stroke on the right side, I'm going to take my arm around my client. I'm going to stretch to the right side, crisscross over, and perform this stroke on the right side. Last stroke is our stroke number 14. This is a reverse freehand stroke as well. I'm going to use my thumb to stretch in the area of stroke number 11. This is also a client assisted stroke. So if your client is awake still during this service, tap him on the forehead and allow him to go ahead and put his tongue in there. Now this ain't something that just happened. You tap him on the forehead and it's a reflex. Okay? This is something that you have to arrange beforehand, because you can't be talking in that testing area. Alright, so when you're talking to this client, just let them know if I tap your forehead or once I get to this area right here, just go ahead and put your tongue in there so that we have a smooth cutting surface. By this time, your steam towel has already worn off. This tends to be a really little tuft of hair, as well as the fact that it's in the dip beneath your lip. Okay, so if he puts his tongue there, he can really assist you in helping you to create a smooth cutting surface for you to go ahead and take that off. I'm going to use my thumb to stretch in the area of stroke number 11 and dip that on out. Okay, that's my last stroke. So what I'm going to do, you don't have to rinse your razor. You can actually just place it back in the napkin, but I'm going to go ahead and rinse it since I have a whole lot of shaving cream on it. And I'm going to place it in my napkin folded so that it's ready whenever I get ready to use it again. Because I'm still working on the same client, I can still use my same steam towel. So I'm going to use this steam towel. I'm going to squeeze out any lather that might be in there from the first steam, or the second steam, the first steam. And I'm going to make sure this water is good and hot. Once I get all of that lather out of my steam towel, I'm going to roll it back up to that hot dog form, and I'm going to saturate it with the hot water.
Mr. Smith, you have a call customer.
Now when you saturate this towel, please always make sure that the fold is up, because that's the way you're going to place it on your client. For those of you back there to fold up, meaning the part that's already folded, not the part that has two pieces that's coming together. Whenever you wring the towel out, don't wring it, just squeeze it, okay? If you wring it, you're taking all of the water out. If you just squeeze it, you have just enough water in there to attract the rest of the lather that's on your client, okay? Make sure to still keep it closed. Take this around my client in order to place it in front of him. Test on both wrists each time. Place the fold beneath the nose and the two corners closest to me overlap the forehead. While my client is steaming, I'm going to remove my lather paper or fold my lather paper. Now, if I'm done and my client's face is good, I don't need any more lather paper. Okay, let me exit that. Let me go ahead and remove this lather paper while my client is steaming, because I think it's more sanitary to use another one. Okay? Alright, so now I'm going to remove the remaining lather from my client's face, starting with the corners of my towel. And we want to be gentle because we've just shaved this client. He's got a freshly shaven face. So we want to be gentle when we're removing the lather. We want to definitely make sure that our towel is not being balled up and it's not being fanned over my client's face. And once we're done, we're going to roll this towel back up. Now, if we have unshaven patches and we need to go back over it, we're just going to place our towel right here because we're going to use it again. Anytime you shave, you have to steam. All right, if I have rough or unshaven patches, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use water to wet my client's face. That way I can see the patches that I need to cover or the areas that I need to cover or clean. And at this point, you don't have to use your strokes. All you have to do is a freehand, okay? I can turn my client just, okay, I got him good and cleaned up. He's good and clean. Now, I can steam my client again. I always test the towel, place it on my client's nose. And at this point, I really don't have to wait. I just want to make sure that I'm steaming my client, allowing those sebaceous glands to produce a little bit of sebum that we might have taken off with those first two shaves. And now I can release this towel. Now that I know I'm done with this towel is going in my dirty linen bag. And my chest towel, I don't need at this point. So I'm going to take my chest towel from behind my client. I'm going to fold it and pat my client dry. And then I'm going to place it back into the hot dog form, just like my steam towel. Take it down, and it goes in the bag. Throw it in the bag. Okay? At this point, I'm done with the shave portion of my exam. I'm going to lift my client. I'm going to lift my client. I don't have to lock the chair, but I'm going to remove my headrest cover. Excuse me, my headrest as well as my headrest cover. This is discarded. It goes in the trash. Now, this is my hair, the haircut portion of the exam. So after I'm done shaving my client, what I'm going to do is I'm going to dress my client with a neck strip. I'm going to secure the chair cloth on my client and fold it down. This is the linen setup of the haircut. So after my linen setup, after every linen setup, I'm going to wash my hands. Still got my trusty personal towel. Alright, so at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and do the haircut portion of the exam, which is a businessman taper. The top would be 3 inches, the side would be a number 2 guard, and we're going to blend it into a light bulb effect to create a businessman taper. Okay, and